A call tonight for workplaces to anticipate future pandemics and be ready to weather them. The Manpower Ministry will work closely with firms across industries to get them prepared by developing targeted requirements and guidelines.
Singapore's efforts to trace and contain the spread of COVID-19 in the community and in workplaces have been commended by the International Advisory Panel for Workplace Safety and Health. The government has accepted its recommendations to better safeguard the well-being of employees. For one, the Manpower Ministry will work with the public health authorities to integrate infectious disease management in the workplace.
The government will work closely with employers and building owners to develop requirements and guidelines, such as sharing information with industry on transmission hotspots for more targeted risk identification and interventions.
Still, even the best country has weak points. And an infectious disease expert says Singapore needs to boost the capabilities of those responsible for occupational health.
The important thing is to provide the training opportunities of occupational health to the safety inspectors, because the safety inspectors can play the great role to seek the collaboration between the public health in community and the workplace safety and health in workplaces.
The panel says mental health is another issue the government must prioritize as telecommuting becomes the norm. MOM says this is being addressed under the new tripartite advisory for mental well-being at workplaces.
I think it's clear that good safety is good business. Now we have to expand that so that the workers' health and well-being at work is good business. Starting from the government, from the political decision makers, it needs to be taken down to the big companies.
Although the coronavirus is top of mind at the moment, the panel stresses that traditional workplace safety shouldn't be overlooked. MOM has echoed this sentiment and says vigilance must be maintained to prevent workplace accidents and injuries.
Some firms here have already been caring for their employees ahead of the release of mental well-being tripartite advisory. They say this generates a strong workforce that's ready to outlast the impact of COVID-19.
Pods for resting, flexible work arrangements, trained mental health first aiders. These are some measures that's keeping staff at Standard Chartered Bank happier. Not just that, it says workers are more productive and fewer people quit.
They feel like they want to stay longer term with the organization. They feel like it's a better place for them to work. So, and of course, pointing towards productivity, which is shown in our financial results.
The bank also has programs in place to make sure workers who suffer from mental health issues can seek help confidentially and privately. More firms are seeking mental well-being support for their workers, according to this clinic. It currently has 12 client companies and says that more are inquiring about counselling and coaching services. It says the pandemic has amplified the need for these forms of support at workplaces.
During COVID, the fact that you are now kind of trapped in your own home, and so that has created a lot more tension for those companies who have employees working from home and who don't have options to call for counseling help or get advice or guidance or tips on how to manage this better.
The tripartite advisory has listed out recommendations to support employees, including holding lunchtime talks on stress management and forming informal support networks. The Labour Union is urging more employers to adopt these measures at the workplace. For unionised companies that need help in doing so, Assistant Secretary General Melvin Yong says they can approach NTUC for assistance. The union adds that it will continue to work with partners to improve on workplace safety and health.